Bosses can only be summoned once you collect the required artifacts. You can take note of this by using a supply drop or checking out an obelisk. I needed to use maps from wikis to pinpoint the caves with artifacts. Make sure you do some research before you try a boss. Figure out what compositions are best and make sure you're ready. To actually summon the boss, place all the artifacts in the supply drop or obelisk and craft the available boss fight. Make sure all your tames fit within this dome. You can only take a max of 20 tames to most boss fights. When the dome completes, you'll be summoned into an alternative location. If you die or if the timer runs out, you will lose everything. There's no way to recover your dead body or stranded tames. Brutal, right? Defeating the boss will grant you some god tier tech upgrades and increase your max level cap based on which boss and which difficulty you completed. Farming can be very useful to provide steady veggies and berries for taming and cooking. I found that 4 large boxes with the 4 veggie types and 6 small boxes for the 6 berry types was enough to supply everything I needed. That means you can build a modest greenhouse to support your farm, and 300% greenhouse effect is the max on most maps. You'll need some reliable water to keep the crops hydrated. You can do this with intake pipes and irrigation. Now that your plots are seeded and watered, try to tame a dung beetle to keep making fertilizer, and if you have a Phiomia, you can feed it stimberries to poop like mad. Have you ever wandered around and found a note or dossier laying about? This is the actual story in ARK. Different maps will follow different people who have been on the ARK before you, but some maps don't contain any story. You'll find these notes in random order, but once you've collected enough, you can read them all under this tab. I looked up explorer maps on wikis to find the locations of the story notes, since randomly stumbling upon them in these massive worlds was not my style. If you want to start from the beginning, head to the maps in this order, and take note of the information on screen. Some of this info might save your life. Speaking of Gen 2, I wanted to share some hot tips for this map. I found it to be amazing for new players. You can get so many amazing resources and tames here. You can travel between the rings by going through these underground tunnels, or use a quicker route through these holes up top. The color of supply drops dictate what resources can be found in the middle of the map between the rings, and note that this area has 0 gravity, so you can literally ride your Anki through the space if you like. These resources will change each in-game night as the station flies to a new area. Lastly, Gen 2 will automatically give you basic Tek Armor. This suit will allow you to breathe underwater and also grant you some sick mobility improvements like being able to hover and fly around the map. Check out these controls for PC and get the most out of this sweet armor. ARK is a blast to play with friends. Don't let all the deaths discourage you. If these tips helped, say so in the comments and sub to join my growing channel.